like to share some thoughts on the issue of what we are doing wrong in our solutions to the world's problems today. So when we look at life, we find that we are faced with all kinds of dilemmas. And these things can be categorized into at least three types. One is the problems that we face at the personal level. It could be something that is mental, something within us, such as depression or frustration. Or it could be things that are related to events around us. We could be facing difficulties in a particular situation or failure in an undertaking. And then there are problems in the environment, such as climate change and other huge issues that we are dealing with today. Now, when we look at all these issues, we find that the way we are dealing with these issues are not producing lasting solutions, despite our best efforts. In fact, quite a few things that we are doing today are categorically disastrous. So what do we do? So we are faced with this question of this search for an answer, for a way forward. So when we keep looking and we keep searching, then over time this develops into a yearning, a search for answers. And it is my understanding that this yearning is the first step on the road to a solution. That is to develop a spirit of seeking. Now, over 2000 years ago, it was so beautifully said, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened unto you. Now just let us dwell on these words a little. We will see that they go very deep into us and they contain a great power. And if we just follow this exhortation, then it will take us to the root of our issues and we can get a solution. Now, if you look, this gives us a clue that there is something in the wisdom traditions of the world that is missing from our modern understanding of how to address problems. So in my life, I have found many times that these traditions contain soul-satisfying answers to the most difficult questions that we face. So now let us compare what our modern knowledge base gives us and how the wisdom of the ages differs from that. So in a nutshell, our understanding of the world today is fragmented. It is specific and particular and confined to a certain situation. Basically, we don't have the whole picture. Now, how are the ancients different in this? For example, in the Indian tradition, there is a story of a student who has completed his higher education and then who comes home after being away for some years. And he has a conversation with his father and is eager to show that he has mastered his field of study. And in the course of their discussion, the father asks, "Have you learned that science by which all things are known?" Now let's look at that statement, that question for a moment. It has a certain boldness. It is the spirit of scientific inquiry is contained in that question. And this is the beauty that is hidden in these ancient paths. So then the son realizes that what he knows really means nothing. And then he asks his father to teach him the secret truth about life. This is the fun in the whole game, because the answer is hidden in the question or the way we ask the question. So what I've come to understand is that we have to look within for the solution to whatever problems we are facing around us, which we think are external. And when we look within, what do we find? At one level, everything we experience or observe is seen as separate, and it's distinct one from another, and it's distinct from us. There's an observer, there is the object, and a process of observation. But at another level, we are told that everything that is happening is really a part of us. Whether we are conscious of or not is a different question. But that is not currently our living experience. For us, the separateness is the reality. Unity is a concept that is difficult for us even to grasp. So until we arrive at that state, we have to rely on the teachings of those who have tasted that experience. One such person is Jalaluddin Rumi, who has said many beautiful things, among which is, out beyond ideas of a wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. Now listen carefully to those words. This tells us that is a clue that we have to go beyond the thinking mind. For example, in the yoga philosophy, they talk of different layers of consciousness. There is the physical body, and then there is a life force that is animating this body, and then there are our thoughts and feelings, and then there is the intellect, which expresses as the power of discrimination, and this is also called the judging mind. And then there is something called the higher mind, which is recognized by a feeling of bliss and a connection to all that is. Now this is what the masters tell us. And when we access that higher state, we are in touch with the source of everything, they say. So naturally, arises a sense that whatever is happening, whether it is good or bad, pleasant or painful, whether we understand it or not, that everything is happening for a certain purpose, and all is in its place, is happening as it should be. Now this brings us to the question that is our education system pointing us in that direction? And are our social institutions and other institutions, are they working in tune with that deeper harmony? And do we relate to one another from that level? So it seems obvious that that is where we must go to in order to find our solutions. So this brings us back to the declaration by Jesus: ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, and knock and the door will be opened unto you. To my mind, this is the purpose for which we have been born to discover. May we open our hearts and minds to the answers that come our way.